Hello BookTube, it's Leah Cooper here, and today I'm bringing you the Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0. Now usually I try to do tag videos on Tuesdays, but I'm doing this video not on a Tuesday for the very special reason that this is going to be my 100th posted video on YouTube. I mentioned in my recent book haul that I'm coming up on my 1 year, what I am terming my 1 year anniversary on BookTube. It'll be at the end of October. Technically, I did make a couple of videos in January of 2016, but then I didn't make any more videos until the end of October. So I consider October to be when I really joined BookTube. And I still have my very, very old videos up on BookTube. You know, they're not good at all, but I'm going to leave them there for posterity's sake. And for my 100th video, I really wanted to do this tag in particular because it's supposed to be a follow-up tag to the Booktube Newbie Tag. Now, I didn't do the Booktube Newbie Tag, and it's one of the things that I've actually kind of regretted not doing, but I just didn't do it when I first started, and then there was that big gap, and then I joined again, and I wasn't really thinking of myself as a newbie, so I didn't do it, and blah blah blah. But I've been on here for like a year. I've made 100 videos. Even though I didn't do the Booktube Newbie Tag, I want to do the follow-up. I will leave a link down to the creator's original video, as well as the questions, if you are interested in doing it yourself. Question number 1. What genres would you like to see talked about more on BookTube? I think this dovetails really well with my last book chat happy hour video where I talked about brand and what I think of as my reading brand, and that I don't necessarily have one. I'm somewhere in between the YA and the adult crowd with forays into genres that are underrepresented on BookTube. A few of those would be, in general, I just want to see more queer content, queer books, not just the 3 queer heavy hitters in the YA genre that get talked about over and over again. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but I would love to see people reading a little bit more diversely. In general, I'd love to see people talking about adult more, not just adult literary fiction, which I think has a very strong presence on BookTube and which I personally love hearing about. I would like to see adult genre fiction be talked about more. Probably, you know, adult SFF, because that is the genre that I do tend to read the most of. And then dovetailing that into, I'd love to see more queer adult books being talked about. Question 2. What do you feel is the best way or ways to make friends on BookTube? I don't have a good answer for this. Even though I've been here for a year, it's only been in the last 2 months that I would say I even really started to make friends on BookTube. I spent 8 months in complete obscurity where I didn't really know anyone. I wasn't communicating with any particular people regularly or more than once or twice. And even now, the people who I would call BookTube friends, it's still a very small group of people, and most, if not all of them, found me. I'm an extremely introverted person, both in real life and on the web. You know, there's that old term, I think it's considered old now. I would have always called myself a lurker. I'm not good at making friends, even online. Respond to all the comments you get on your videos, unless they're spam, ignore those. Try to comment on other people's videos. If you see someone week after week or video after video commenting on your videos, check out their channel, try to comment back, see if you have something in common. If you can find something in common, talk about that. And also, I think personally, my favorite social media platform is Twitter, and I think it's been really great to follow people who I get along with, who I share reading taste with on BookTube. I like following them on Twitter and then talking to them there. Question 3. What do you enjoy the most about making BookTube videos? So one of my favorite types of video is actually a review video. I genuinely like to make reviews, and that's kind of why I joined BookTube, because I wanted to do reviews. And I like the process that I go through when I do a review video, where I sit down and I think about the book critically, and I have a whole little process where I try to write my own blurb for the book to, you know, think back on what are the selling points of that book, and I make things I liked, things I don't like, and I just like going through the process of looking back on a book in that manner. Tangentially, I also really enjoy doing wrap-ups because, again, I like talking about the books that I read. Question 4. What do you least look forward to when making BookTube videos? The time it takes to compile and upload a video. So I have a MacBook. I work in iMovie, but my Mac only has 4 gigs of RAM, and that is a pain in the ass to make iMovie run quickly and efficiently with other apps open. And I hate having to close down everything else so that I can get iMovie to run really quick and smoothly. Question 5. What videos other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews, and recommendations would you want to see more of? I don't know. I'm here on BookTube to talk about books. I'm here to hear people talk about the books that they've read. And whether that be a review or a wrap-up or a recommendation, like, that's why I'm here. That's what I want to see. I would, in fact, love to see more reviews. I don't get this whole thing where reviews are apparently everyone's least popular videos, because like, what? That really makes no sense to me. Now, that doesn't mean I watch every single review video I see posted, because if it's a book that is in a genre that I'm not going to be interested in, I'm not going to watch it. But when someone posts reviews for, SFF novels that I may be interested in or I may not have heard of, like, that is why I'm here, to see what they thought, to get book recommendations for things that I may want to read. That's a really comprehensive list, I think, of types of BookTube videos that people make, and it covers the main types of videos that I like to watch. Tagging onto this question, a type of video I would like to see less of is unboxings. Not ARC unboxings. I actually think ARC unboxings are really interesting because it gives you an idea of what's coming up in a publisher's lineup. So what I mean by unboxings are the subscription box unboxings. I think those get incredibly repetitive and general. I don't watch them anymore at all. I think people do them because they expect to get a lot of views on them. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, how many times do I really need to see someone unbox the upside of Unrequited? To be honest, when I see like 20 people unboxing the same book from the same subscription box, it makes me even less interested in whatever that book is. That's just my personal opinion. Question 6. What are some themes you want to see more of or less of in books? I don't know if I have an answer for this, just because there's a theme in a book that just doesn't interest me, I won't read it. Like, it's as simple as that. A good example of this would be like the assassin trope. That's not a keyword that sells to me. You see it crop up a lot and I'm just like, Maybe if there's another element that does sell to me, I might pick up that book, but that's not a keyword that sells to me. But that doesn't mean I want to see it less or whatever. I don't care, because a lot of other people do like, that is a selling word for them. That is a keyword that intrigues them. So let them have those books. There's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of books. I'll find something else that does sell to me or does appeal to me. I think if you're reading things with tropes in them that you don't like or you want to see less of, stop picking those books. Go read other things. Because there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of books constantly coming out. And if you're seeing tropes over and over again that you're not interested or you're sick of, look somewhere else for recommendations. I also don't really believe in like censoring what people put in their books or telling them what they should or shouldn't put in their books. So there's like a lot of stuff, like social stuff, socially objectionable stuff, that I would love not to see in books. But I'm not going to tell people they're not allowed to write that, because it's freedom of speech, etc. It's my freedom to choose not to have anything to do with them or what they write or their books, etc. And like, what are some themes that I'm tired of? I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't think I let myself keep reading stuff that I'm tired of so that it becomes a legitimate gripe, if that makes sense. I will definitely binge like a trope or a concept or a conceit. But then, you know, I get my fill of it and I go and move on to other tropes or keywords or conceits. Question 7. What are some of your BookTube goals? Keep doing BookTube because it's been really good about making me accountable to read, to keep reading, to read on a schedule. If I put out a TBR, if I plan on doing wrap-ups, etc., then I'm much less likely to start books and forget that I'm reading them, because that's my big issue. When I just am very unstructured about what I do or my reading, I will start lots of books and just never get around to finishing them. I mean, I'd love to have more subscribers because I'm a teeny tiny little obscure channel, but that's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen, and it's not something that I can really control at all, because I don't know how to grow my channel. Simple as that. So I'm not really going to be fussed about it. Making myself concise and succinct is kind of my ongoing goal for the quality of videos. I have a really bad habit of rambling, saying that, and I'm looking at the time. I've already been filming for 25 minutes. Question number 8. What advice would you give to a booktuber that has just created their channel? I don't know. Don't do what I'm doing, because my channel is teeny tiny, and I definitely would not have even hit 200 subscribers if Derby from Derby Lane Reading hadn't given me a shout out. Thank you for doing. But yeah, no, so I don't really have any good advice because I'm not doing this very well, clearly. That's as far as like channel growth goes. On a different note, I would suggest watching BookTube and commenting on people's videos to try to, you know, going back to that, how do you make friends? Find booktubers who you enjoy watching, who you can have conversations with, who you would want to be friends with, because I think that can help early on. That can help you develop rapport, which will possibly gain you subscribers. If nothing else, it can help you gain people actually regularly watching your videos, which is definitely a big confidence booster. Another thing, and this happened to me, and I think this happens to quite a few people when they join BookTube or when they start watching BookTube, is you'll follow some of the big booktubers, and irregardless of like whether their reading tastes really align with yours, and you'll kind of get swept up in like the hype of what they're enthusiastic about, which can lead you to reading a lot of stuff you may or may not have chosen to read without that influence. And that can be good and bad. It can be good because it can expose you to authors or books that you would not have picked up otherwise that you may love. But it also may mean that I'm not necessarily talking to like the younger crowd here, I'm talking to the slightly older crowd here, because I'm 28. It may inspire you to read things that you're not necessarily super into, and you might go through a period where you're reading a lot of stuff that you don't like because you're kind of swept up in that hype. You know, just be conscious that that's happening. Maybe go through that process. It might be good for you just to come full circle back around to realizing what it is that you really like to read and feeling confident about reading those books instead. Just because YA is super popular on BookTube does not mean that it is the only thing that you can talk about or read here. There is, I think, a growing community of people who do not read YA, not because YA is bad or we look down on people who read it or blah, blah, blah. Just because, you know, it may or may not interest us, okay? No YA shade. I've read quite a few YA books that I really, really liked. But there is a growing, I think, community of smaller booktubers specifically, or especially, who read other things. So if you enjoy reading other things, please do, and make those videos, and talk about those books, and review those books, please. Or make those book recommendation videos, because that only helps grow the other facets of the community. Question number 9. What are some qualities or traits that you look for when it comes to watching other booktubers? Usually I like to find people who at least like some of the same books that I do, or maybe share a similar opinion as I have about a book that I really, really enjoyed. or read in genres that I am interested in reading in, just because that means they'll be talking about books that I'm interested in. If they're talking about books that I just have no interest in, I'm just not going to be interested in their videos, and that's fine. Personally, I also look for people who think very critically about the books that they're reading. Like, there's nothing better than watching a review of someone really dig into a book, what they liked about it or what they didn't like about it, or the structure or the writing or the themes and what the author's doing, and being able to talk coherently about that or talk intelligently about the book. So I do tend to skew a little bit more towards watching people who are a little bit I don't want to say academic, because it's not like I'm watching a college lecture or anything, but who think critically or academically or analytically about books, because that's how I think about books. And you can do that and have fun at the same time. Like, the fun and being analytical are not mutually exclusive concepts. I won't lie, there are definitely a few authors who I've read who I really don't like, and for a myriad of reasons, some of them being I don't think they write very well, to they're assholes in real life. Like, it spans that whole gamut. And if I see people and all they do is gush about like multiple authors on my absolutely not list, I won't watch them. And it goes back to, if they're reading books that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to be interested in their videos. If they're in love with authors who I really don't like, then there's a very high chance that our reading tastes just aren't going to align. And at the end of the day, I'm here to hear about books that I may be interested in reading, or to connect with people who liked or disliked books that I liked or disliked. Question 10. What is a fun fact about you or a hobby besides reading and writing that people on BookTube might not know you have? I used to own a bakery/tea shop, but I don't anymore. Like, that was my quirky fact, but I don't own it anymore because I hate working in retail and I hate dealing with customers. So yeah, currently I play a lot of Warframe. Question 11. Which booktubers do you tag? I think everyone in my immediate friend circle has done this tag already, so I'm just gonna say, if you're watching this, you have a BookTube channel and you feel compelled to do this tag for whatever reason, whether it's an anniversary or it's a milestone or you just feel like doing it, consider yourself tagged. If you've enjoyed watching this video, which I really hope that I can edit down to a reasonable length of time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.